As smart as I know my ass is, Ketanji Brown is smarter. Smartest person I've ever met in my life. When you smart, I'm smart. That lady is smart on a level I've never seen before. And her three roommates were even smarter. These girls were so smart that we were shocked that we'd ever met anybody that intelligent. And Amy Coney Barrett, on the other hand, is a Supreme Court justice just like Ketanji, even though her qualifications are minuscule compared to Ketanji's. Maybe that's the affirmative action we've been getting. White people who are essentially mediocre in scale compared to a black person getting the spot because they wanted a conservative. Maybe the way that J.D. Vance got into Yale is because they were tired of just letting in white men from New York, from Choate, from all the elite schools, and they wanted an Appalachian white. That's how that man got into Yale, I promise you. Same thing with Ron DeSantis from a small town in Florida. They wanted to just get out of the New York, D.C. matrix, Massachusetts matrix, and let somebody into Harvard and Yale who came from a different place. He came from Florida. Baby, that's also affirmative action and DEI. But instead, they let me in. And because of that, you now have the ability to attack me, right wingers. You have the ability to know who I am when I don't know who most of y'all are. But you know me because affirmative action brought me your way.
It's the strongest form of protest is mockery. Just the inflatable frogs, the naked bicyclists. It just shows how I was, showing Chris the video of, to the song War, what is against all the little inflatables. It's just, but this is what they deserve, right?
Oh, absolutely. This so takes I don't know if I can say the P word, but this takes the P out of the, this militaristic authoritarianism that we're seeing. If you face it down with something that's silly, right, then it just completely drags the whole thing into your territory because what they want more than anything else is they want serious physical pushback. They want aggression to meet their own aggression so they can amplify their aggression. And so when you face it down with these amazing inflatable costumes, it's absolutely the perfect way to go. More like this, please.
And I love the whole that they're so frightened of obviously what's going to happen this weekend. They keep coming up with new boogeymen, the paid protesters, Antifa. Someone's like, don't forget to stop at the Antifa headquarters and get your bag of cash for your protest this weekend. Millions and millions of people are paid by who? Right?
Once again, I'm still waiting for my Antifa check. It has not arrived. I think it got lost in the mail. Maybe the 12 different forwarding addresses hurt my chances, but that's a fact. And by the way, where's my George Soros check? I've been waiting for that one for 20 years, and it still hasn't arrived. Am I out of the loop?
And I asked him directly when we had him on the show.
Yeah.
He turned me down flat.
He did.
I'm like, can I please have all the cash I've been accused of taking from you?
It was an immediate no. No.
It was a very immediate no. No.
Just not important enough for the Soros check or the Antifa check.
Right,
Yes.
right.
It occurred to me that if you're anti-Antifa, that means you're pro-fa.
Yes.
Why
doesn't one reporter not ask
definition.
that? Why, Bob? That's why what you do is so important. No reporters ask that. If you're against Antifa, doesn't that mean you're for fascism? Period.
Oh, yeah. And don't get me started on reporters not asking questions, specific questions, or reporting on certain things today, because that's one of the things I was raving about this on my podcast yesterday, which is why isn't anyone emphasizing the fact that between allowing the Biden ceasefire deal to go away, this was entirely Netanyahu and Trump, and the reinstatement of basically the same deal in the past week, how many people died in the interim? How many people were killed in Gaza? How many children died of starvation in that period of time where Donald and Netanyahu wanted to take credit for something that Joe Biden implemented just because Joe Biden's name was on it?
I'm telling you.
That's, I think, a question that needs to be asked more often by the press.
Yeah, to complete the complete destruction of Gaza so that Trump and Netanyahu can make money rebuilding Gaza, quote unquote.
That's right. That's right. And again, what do we know of Donald Trump? This is something where he did this with NAFTA, where he took away NAFTA and then replaced it with NAFTA and called it something else, the USMCA.
Yeah.
So this is something that he's done often, where he takes someone else's thing, tears it down, ends it, and then brings it back and puts his name on it. It's like the entire business model of the Trump organization. Someone else puts up a building. Donald licenses his name to the building and had nothing to do with the building itself. But now his name is on.
And
He's got to,
speaking
smear his stink on everything.
Yeah. And speaking of trade, I mean, the absurdity of, so Argentina, by the way, is buying, aren't they all their soybeans from China now? So our farmers have been completely decimated. Their markets are completely gone, and we're going to bail out Argentina. They're selling their soybeans to China. China's gone as our market to buy our soybeans. I mean, it is amazing the wrecking ball that he is.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And the signal to China is, yes, by all means, come on in and take over our markets. That's fine. And it's no wonder. I mean, Donald Trump, the biggest, talk about the press not asking questions. Donald has so much business in China. That is never discussed. That is never talked about. And it's well beyond Ivanka's trademarks in China. I mean, we just saw during this ceremony in the Middle East, prematurely celebrating the ceasefire.
Yeah.
We saw Donald interacting with the Indonesian president about most likely a business deal that Donald has with Indonesia, which, by the way, China is also an investor in that land deal.
Ivanka and Jared are over there because they're going to make money. That's the only reason.
Yep.
Barron just made $80 million on insider trading a few days ago. I mean, the whole family is just grifters. I mean, you pointed out the Marco Rubio moment where Trump's like, suck harder, less teeth. The whole... What he said,
And I was censoring the P word a second ago? Wait a second here.
Yeah.
Which was
P as in for
P,
P, like pea and vinegar? Was that what you censored? Okay.
P. It was P. Literally.
Yeah. Don't look at me with disappointment. Just when you think you can't be more disappointed in me, what happens?
I get more disappointed in you.
Yeah, another level. Okay. Oh, we're always finding new layers to our relationship.
Well,
Bob. No, but just where he's like, when he said, oh, this is the most important moment in 50 years, and Trump's like, only 50, and then Rubio's like, yes, 100. And you just said this has the vibes of Donald's premature celebration after the House passed the ACA repeal, which later failed in the Senate. I mean, again, this didn't last 24 hours before he's, threatening Hamas and trying to act like a tough guy. Oh, they're going to do some. They're going to do, and of course he has no plan or no. A reporter asked why, and that's where, it falls apart.
Oh yeah, we've all seen the football highlight reels of the guy, the running back, maybe 10 yards away from the goal line. By the way, this is the only sports ball reference I'm going to make probably in the next 10 years.
Yes, Carlos has jury duty, so please, sport the sport for us.
Yeah, right. But we've all seen the guy running toward the end zone and celebrating too early, fumbling the ball. The other team picks it up and runs off for a touchdown. This is what happens to Donald all the time. And back in, I guess it was 2018, House passed the ACA repeal. There was a huge celebration in the former Rose Garden. And, of course, the Senate killed the deal, killed the repeal.
That's all he cares about is the moment, the celebration, the, oh, look what I did. And then it's like, it always falls apart, Him saying at the Knesset, that he, I ended Iran's nuclear program. He did no such effing thing, and they know it.
Suffice to say, no matter what happens with this ceasefire, Donald is going to continue to claim that he brought peace to the Middle East.
Yeah.
That he is, it's all happening, even though it's probably not going to happen. That's the claim. That's what he's going to do. All he has to do is have at least the teeny tiniest sliver of something happening, and he's going to blow it up into the greatest achievement in the history of great achievements.
Yeah,
that's just, we can see all of this stuff coming down Main Street.
Yeah,
and because we know him by now, and that's tragic and awful. And I wish I didn't.
You quoted of just all the ridiculous, embarrassing things he said overseas. You said Trump on Egypt. They have very little crime because they don't play games. That's why, like we do in the United States with governors that have no idea what they're doing. And you said, I'm old enough to remember when it was considered political suicide to criticize the United States while on foreign soil. The number of times Donald has crossed that Rubicon are too many to count. I mean, from, encouraging the Knesset to boo President Obama and President Biden, right, to Hillary Clinton, on and on. It's just, but anyway,
I don't know, how do you bottle this stuff? I mean, how do we get past this? I don't know. I mean, the presidency is largely based on tradition and establishing norms within the White House, within presidential behavior, that normally what ends up happening is subsequent presidents just continue with those norms. So every day that Donald Trump completely bastardizes presidential decorum, decency, all these things, presidential traditions, completely tears them down. That's going to resonate into the future. And so I don't know how we fix that. I don't know how we solve that.
Yeah, and by the way, as we mentioned yesterday, they do have crime. Egypt has crime. In fact, there's a travel advisory from our State Department because of crime in Egypt. And you said Egypt has extremely strict gun control laws. Is one of the things. You said civilians are only permitted to own handguns, no rifles or shotguns, only if they can prove they need the weapon for a specific purpose. Background checks for licensing are extensive and include vetting of family members and psych evaluations. I mean, yeah, wow.
Yeah. I'm just saying, authoritarianism, if that's what you want, bye-bye Second Amendment. I mean, this is eventually something that would be on the chopping block. So, and Egypt is a perfect example.
I wanted to talk to you both, Yahweh and Yesh, because I wrote a book, and it's about you guys, but it's really about some of your fans. The mean ones, the racist ones, the homophobe ones, the ones who don't like women. You guys come off really well in the book. Jesus, you come off really good in this book.
Yeah, I've heard that when people talk about the Bible, they tell me that God, you come off really well.
Said no one ever.
Jesus comes off really well. Yeah, no, God, you're very impressive, God. I don't want to say the wrong thing, but you there's some moments, Almighty, where you're kind of the alcoholic step god, you know what I'm saying? But Jesus, he's chill throughout, like he's proof of evolution.
But John, people have been twisting my message, right? And that's what this book is about.
It really is, Jesus. I mean, I've gone through this book of yours many times. You never said anything against the gays. You never said anything against women having to be forced to be pregnant. I mean, you're not against abortion. You're against the death penalty, Jesus. I know that. You're like your dad in that you tell us to welcome the stranger.
Yeah. I mean, the right people are twisting my message left and right, and we can't take it anymore. So we're so excited to have this book, a really rock solid resource to show people what the Bible actually says. And that's why we love you, John. You're spreading our true good word.
Simon & Schuster's Avid Reader Press presents Separation of Church and Hate, the bold, hilarious new book from John Fugelsang.